guys, GriffiMythic here. Today, I'm going to be unboxing iPhone 16 Pro. Here she is. So once again, this is the iPhone 16 Pro. Natural titanium, 128 gigabytes. Designed by Apple in California. Includes iPhone 16 Pro USB-C charge cable. As you guys know, Apple boxes make some of the best ASMR sounds like ever. Like, I love the Apple box packaging sounds. It's just amazing. So I'll be getting into the specs later on in the video once we get the phone out of the box. But for now, enjoy some of the tapping sounds of the packaging. So this is my current phone, the iPhone 13. I'm pretty much due for an upgrade. And this time, we went with Pro because apparently a lot of people don't like the 16. According to some reviews, it's not the best. But I am really excited for the Pro because this bad boy was made for content creation. And a lot of things too. So I'm really excited to just get on into this thing. Here we go. Boy. Here we go. Here we go. Oh my gosh. That is actually a really good color. Oh my goodness. That is awesome. God, this color is so good. That is so amazing. Let's take her out, shall we? Get the little tab. Here we go. Let's just pull her out very gently. Inside we have the paperwork. Which, unfortunately, no Apple stickers. Good lord, that is pretty. That is so nice. This bag will last, man. That's really nice. I'm so glad I got the natural titanium. It looks so good. It's got a little weight to it. My 13's got a case on it, so it's a little hefty. But this definitely has a little weight to it, obviously. This camera is no joke. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Time to remove the packaging film. Here we go. And let's put a screen protector on it, shall we? I think we did pretty well. We get another peel sound for you guys to enjoy. Oh, wow. God, I can't wait to check out Dynamic Island, too. That's gonna be so cool. Give you some tapping sounds on this beautiful phone. Wow. Moment of truth, it's time to power her on. Hello. This is awesome. Okay. So, before we set it up, obviously we'll go over some specs about this bad boy. This is, once again, the iPhone 16 Pro. Not to be confused with the Pro Max, this is just the Pro. You can purchase it in 128 gigabytes, 256 gigabytes, 512 gigabytes, and 1 terabyte. This is the 128 millimeters. The width is 2.81 inches, which is 71.5 millimeters. And then the depth is 0.32 inches, which is 8.25 millimeters. For all my metric system people. So for the display, the iPhone 16 Pro features a Super Retina XDR display, which is apparently the best display in a smartphone. It features a 6.3-inch diagonal all-screen OLED display. The pixel resolution is 2622 by 1206 pixels at 460 ppi. So, obviously, some of the main features are Dynamic Island, which I heard is really helpful and really useful. A lot of people say it's one of their favorite features on the newer iPhones. I think the first one to use Dynamic Island was either 15 or 14. I'm not 100% sure. Always on display, which I'm going to turn off because it drives me insane. I'm just not a huge fan of that. ProMotion technology with adaptive refresh rates up to 128 Hz. HDR display, True Tone, Wide Color P3, Haptic Touch, 2,000,000:1 contrast ratio, which is the typical 100 nits max brightness, 1600 nits peak brightness, HDR, 2000 nits peak brightness outdoor, and then 1 nit minimum brightness. Fingerprint resonant coding, I don't know how to say it, elophobic coding or something like that. And then support display for multiple languages and characters simultaneously. Splash, water and dust resistant with an ID rating of 68, maximum depth of 6 meters up to 30 minutes of exposure. Obviously, one of the big features in the iPhone 16 lineup is, of course, Apple Intelligence, which I have on my Mac, which I'm using to film this video. So far, I can tell it's definitely in the early stages. Obviously, I haven't used it a whole lot on my Mac because it's not really, I mean, it is built for my MacBook, but a lot of key features that I'm looking for aren't available yet, but eventually they will be. It's basically a personal intelligence system that helps you write, express yourself, get things done effortlessly with groundbreaking privacy protections. It gives you peace of mind. The chip inside iPhone 16 Pro is the Apple A18 Pro chip, which is a new 6-core CPU with 2 performance and 4 efficiency cores, a new 6-core GPU, and a new 16-core neural engine, which this thing is going to run fast, and I love fast because my iPhone 13 has gotten slow. The camera system on the iPhone 16 Pro features a 48 megapixel fusion, 24mm, a 1.78 aperture, second generation sensor shift optical image stabilization, 100% focus pixels, support for super high resolution photos, either 24 megapixels or 48 megapixels. Also enables 12 megapixel 2x telephoto, 48 millimeters, with a 1.78 aperture, second generation sensor shift optical image stabilization, and 100% focus pixels. And then of course the 48 megapixel ultra wide camera, which is 13 millimeters and features a 2.2 aperture X optical zoom range. Digital zoom up to 25x. Camera control. Customizable default lens for the Fusion camera. Sapphire crystal lens cover. Adaptive true tone flash. Photonic engine. Deep fusion. Smart HDR5. Next generation portraits with focus and depth control. Portrait lighting with 6 effects night mode. Night mode portraits enabled by the good old LiDAR scanner, which has gotten really popular. Panorama up to 63 megapixels. The latest generation photographic styles. Spatial photos. 48 megapixel macro photography. Apple Pro. Wide color capture for photos and live photos. Lens correction for the ultra-wide camera. Advanced red-eye correction. Auto image stabilization. Burst mode. Photo geotagging. And of course, image formats captured include HEIF, JPEG, and DNG. Alright, video recording. That's what this phone was also made for. Not just for pictures. No. This thing is a literal motion picture camera. The iPhone 16 Pro can shoot in 4K Dolby Vision at 24 frames per second, 25 frames per second, 30 frames per second, 60 frames per second, 100 frames per second with Fusion, and 120 frames per second with Fusion. 1080 Dolby Vision as well at 25, 30, 60, and 120 FPS Fusion. 720 Dolby Vision recording at 30 frames per second. Cinematic mode up to 4K Dolby Vision at 30 frames per second. Action mode up to 2.8K Dolby Vision at 60 FPS. Spatial audio recording at 1080, 30 frames per second. ProRes video recording up to 4K 120 with external reading. Log video recording. An Academy color coding system. Micro video recording, including slow-mo and time-lapse. Slow-mo support for 1080 up to 240 frames per second, and 4K Dolby Vision up to 120 frames per second. Time-lapse video with stabilization. Night mode time-lapse. Quick take video up to 4K Dolby Vision 60 FPS. Second generation sensor shift optical stabilization for video. 3D sensor shift optical image stabilization for autofocus for video for the telephoto. Digital zoom up to 25x. Audio zoom, true tone flash, cinematic video stabilization, either in 4K 1080 or 720p. Continuous autofocus video can take 8 megapixel still photos while recording a 4K video. Playback zoom. Video formats include HEVC, H.264, and of course, ProRes. Spatial audio and stereo recording for studio quality mics. If you guys watched the Apple event, they demonstrated that. Good lord, this thing is a literal motion picture camera. Wind noise reduction, and of course, audio mix, which is amazing. So basically, this thing is ready to go for content creation. So now, moving on to the front-facing camera, or the true depth camera. It is a 12 megapixel camera with a 1.9 aperture, autofocus with focus pixels, retina flash, photonic engine, deep fusion, smart HDR5, next generation portraits with focus and depth control, portrait lighting with 6 effects, Animoji and Memoji, night mode, latest generation photographic styles, Apple Pro RAW, wide color capture for live photos and live videos, wide color capture for photos and live videos, lens correction, night mode time lapse, quick take video up to 4K at 60 frames per second in Dolby Vision, cinematic video stabilization, 4K, 1080, and 720, spatial audio and stereo recording, with noise reduction, and of course audio mix. So enabled by the TrueDepth camera for facial recognition. It's basically, you just look at your phone and you're in. iPhone 16 Pro features peace of mind with emergency SOS via satellite, crash detection, roadside assistance via satellite, messages via satellite, and Find My via satellite. Cellular and wireless. Not gonna get into too much of this, but obviously all models can support 5G, LTE, Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 5.3. It's got a precision dual frequency GPS, a digital compass, Wi-Fi, cellular, and iBeacon micro-location, FaceTime video calling over cellular or Wi-Fi, FaceTime HD 1080 video calling over 5G or Wi-Fi, share experiences like music, TV, movies, and other apps in a FaceTime call, screen sharing, portrait mode in FaceTime video, spatial audio, voice isolation with wide spectrum microphone modes, and optic zoom with rear facing camera. Audio calling, obviously you have FaceTime audio, voice over LTE, which is full LTE, Wi-Fi calling, share experiences like movies, obviously all that jazz like you do with video calling. Audio playback supported formats include AAC, APAC, MP3, Apple lossless, yes sir, FLAC, Dolby Digital Plus, and of course the good old Dolby Atmos. Spatial audio, user configurable maximum volume limit. Supported formats include HEVC, H.264, AV1, and Apple ProRes, of course. HDR with Dolby Vision, HDR10 Plus, and HLG. Up to 4K HDR AirPlay for mirroring photos and video cut to Apple TV 2nd generation or later, and AirPlay enabled smart TV. Video monitoring and video out support up to 4K HDR through DisplayPort output over USB-C or USB-C digital AV adapter. And of course, good old Siri. Get help with everyday tasks like sending messages, setting reminders, and more. Protected by the strongest privacy of any intelligent assistant. Powered by Apple Intelligence. Siri is more natural, contextually relevant, and personal, which she'll actually understand you more, which is actually really nice. So basically, if you like trip on a word or something, the external buttons and connectors. So of course you have your built-in stereo speaker and built-in microphone up at the top. This is for your audio, for your phone calls, obviously. Then you've got the good old action button, which I have not tested out. Then you have your volume buttons, your side button, which is basically power, and of course camera control. This thing is brand new. I have not tried this out. Like, that is crazy. I can't wait to see what that's like. And of course, good old USB-C, which I now gotta get used to because I'm so used to Lightning. And of course, built-in microphones, and then of course, speaker on the bottom as well. So basically, you get that spatial audio when you tilt it on the side. Action button features. You can do silent mode, focus, camera, flashlight, voice memo, recognize music, translate to magnifier, controls, shortcut, or accessibility. Camera controls feature exposure, depth, zoom, camera styles, and tone. And then charging and expansion. USB-C connector with support for charging, DisplayPort, and USB 3 up to 10 gigabytes a second. Video playback on the iPhone 16 Pro is up to 27 hours. Video playback streamed up to 22 hours. Audio playback up to 85 hours. Built-in rechargeable lithium-ion battery, MagSafe wireless charging with 30 watt adapter or higher. 50% charge in around 30 minutes with 20 watt adapter paired with USB-C charging cable, or 30 watt adapter with a higher paired with MagSafe charger. All available separately, of course. Now it's time to talk about MagSafe. So MagSafe is basically Apple's magnetic, like, accessories. Basically, I actually have one right here that is a wallet. Let's try it out. Very nice. Just goes right on. MagSafe supports wireless charging up to 25 watts with a 30-watt adapter or higher magnet array. So basically, it's like this wallet here. It also features accessory identification, NFC, and a magnometer. The sensors. So obviously, we got Face ID, LiDAR scanner, barometer, high dynamic range, GRIO, high G accelerometer, proximity sensor, and dual ambient light sensors. iPhone 16 Pro runs on iOS 18, which is the world's most personal and secure mobile operating system, packed with the powerful features that are designed to protect your privacy. Accessibility, obviously it's got built-in accessibility, including voice over Zoom, magnifier, voice control, switch control, assistive touch, eye tracking, RTD, and DDY support, closed captions, personal voice, live speech, type to Siri, vocal shortcuts, and spoken content. Obviously you got so many built-in apps that I'm not going to read, but you basically know it's the standard stuff like camera, voice memos, messages, all that good stuff, and of course Safari, settings, all that jazz. And of course the good old weather app, which is never really accurate. You can either have a dual eSIM, so obviously eSIM technology, basically it's not compatible with physical SIM cards, which my current 13 does. So basically I don't even need to put in a SIM card, which is crazy. Obviously it is hearing aid compatible, so you can hook it up to your hearing aids. Mail attachment support, obviously supports all that good stuff. Yeah. Obviously you need an Apple account, you need internet access. And then obviously iPhone 16 Pro is designed to reduce environmental impact. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and set this bad boy up. You know what, while we're waiting, I'm gonna go ahead and put on my case. Let me show you guys my case. This is a frosted natural titanium case. Complements the color really well. It is MagSafe compatible, so obviously we got this bad boy right here. Sticks right on, like so, like a glove, like a glove. And just like that. Oh wow, that's actually not that bad. That complements it really well. MagSafe wallet. Let's go ahead and put it on. That is loud. Okay, guys. So I think that's gonna wrap up this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like. It really helps the channel. And if you guys are new around here, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell so you never miss a new upload. Once again, my name is GriffiMythic, or just Griffin, and I will see y'all next time.